Welcome to our podcast. We are so grateful to have you here. This is our very first podcast, and you are our very first guest.
Oh, is it? Thank you so
Yes,
much for having me. It's such an honor.
thank you. So today we are with Sister Smangele. So may you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Smangele Nyembe. As she said, I'm 26 years old. I'm a mother of
Wow,
three beautiful girls.
wow.
One passed on, and I have two beautiful girls and a hustler of note husband, a very loving husband. I have such a beautiful family. That's all that I can say for now.
So when we spoke about like your growing up. When you told me that your mom left you when you were 3 months old. So can you just take us through the journey?
Uh, as much as I was young that time, I get it when you grow up, the parents do tell you. So I grew up with my paternal grandparents. They nurtured me up until I got where I am now. When I turned 18, I started asking questions about my mom and whereabouts. My dad was still alive by then. Then he told me that no, your mom and I had a fight and we ended up breaking up. So I don't know if that caused her to leave me or what, but yeah, she abandoned me when I was 3 months old. When I turned 18, my dad took it upon himself to take me to her. You know, if you have been longing to see someone and have such deep conversations, I was longing for that. But when I got there, she didn't look any interested, none whatsoever. Even now,
Wow.
I've tried my best to build a relationship, but she is not there. I think when she sees me, she sees someone who is successful. When she sees me, she's always asking for money. So you can imagine. And what surprises me is that I'm her first born child. She has five other kids after me, if not mistaken. The second born after me, she also abandoned him, and the rest of her kids, she nurtured them up until they grew up. So
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. So how was it like growing up with your grandmom, with your aunties? Did you ever feel that you didn't have a mom, like, you know?
no, not really. My grandmother is my mother.
Exactly.
She
Yes.
took me in from that tender age up until now. She loves me so much and I love her so much. She's my mom. My grandfather is also my
Your
father.
dad,
So,
yes.
I never felt that space, that opening. But as I grew up in high school, other kids would say,
Talking.
my mom bought me this, my mom bought me that, my mom did this and that. And I'd be like, no, my grandmother bought me this. Every time it would be my granny this, my granny that. And at some point in life, I couldn't talk about this at all. I would cry.
Cry. Yes.
But when I met my husband, who was then my boyfriend, he helped me heal. He showed me that it is possible to go on, to continue with life without crying because it's nothing that I can do. It's not like I can change the times or do anything about that. So I got over that. Even now, we do talk here and there, but it's such. It seems like she's a stranger to me. She's just a
She is
normal
a
person.
yes.
So I'm taking everything as it is. It's life. We continue.
So what is it that would make you angry? Like what would make you cry?
Regarding this
Yes,
situation,
yes, about your mom's story.
uh, honestly, right now, nothing at all. Nothing. I've
But
healed.
before, yeah, maybe before,
Before, I would
yes.
think about her and her other kids. I would ask questions like, why me? Why did she nurture the other kids and not me? Why did she not love me? Did she actually think about doing an abortion at some point? Or what? I always question myself, why me? But now that I've grown up, I'm a mother, I'm always saying, why not me? If it wasn't me, then who was it supposed to be?
Because I as a mom also I tend to be anxious when I'm not with my children. Let's say I go like before for a week without my children. I worry about them. When it's winter, you know that they need winter clothes. When you're not there, you worry. Are they okay?
Okay, you rather do things for them
than for
yourself.
you. So now I'm thinking, what is it that what happened to you for you to just leave a 3 months old baby and go just like that? And it's not the first thing. It's not the first time she did it again with your other brother. So then you wonder what exactly was the problem there.
We have no idea. Only
Yes,
she knows.
yes, we have no idea and we cannot judge. But it's as a mother, you cannot now.
You can never. I can never really. I can never leave my daughters all alone.
Hey.
So sad. But
you go, you sleep, you wake up, you eat, you do everything, continue
like
with life.
It's normal leaving a 3 months old baby.
And I can imagine like the pain that you went through when you discovered that she left you. Because I believe that as human beings, we were created to be loved. So there's that void, that longing that you have that if my mother was here.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking when I was on my way, I was also thinking about the time you got married, the pregnancy. You also wanted your mom to be there.
Especially with my first pregnancy.
Yes.
I got pregnant at the age of 20. Pregnancy and its sicknesses. When I first got pregnant, I discovered that I had pregnancy-induced high blood, which caused preeclampsia. I had to be admitted in hospital by 7.5 months. When I got there, they told me that it's an emergency. I had to undergo an emergency C-section. Like, I don't really remember much about it, but I know it was not a pleasant experience because when I got there, obviously, they don't allow visitors and all that. So I was all alone. When I got there, I had to sign forms on my own and all that. Imagine that fear that, okay, I'm now going to have a baby, a premature baby at that. And I have no idea what's going to happen. We had not started buying anything for the kids.
For the baby, yes.
Yes. Everything happened so fast. It was actually my appointment at the clinic. When I got there, then they checked and saw that no, something is wrong. Apparently I had preeclampsia, of which I had to go to the hospital. And that's how I had my daughter. She came 1 month, 2 weeks earlier, but she didn't live past 11 days. She had liver infection. So, yeah.
Then she passed away.
Imagine going back home empty-handed. Went in the hospital with a big belly, then going home and empty-handed. It's so sad. At some point in life, I got depressed. I asked myself, why is all this happening to me? First, it was my mom leaving me, and now God decides to take my baby. Okay, I was still young at that time, but I had accepted that I am going to be a mother. Then all that happened.
And whenever you discover that you're pregnant, it's like it's a whole new life that is coming. Yes. You'll be so much excited, looking forward to the baby. Yes. And also the first 3 months, the first trimester, you have like your heartburn
and all that. Actually, yes. I do have heartburn throughout my pregnancy.
Yes. You change. Like me, my nose started growing. And I've been pregnant 3 times. My nose grows and grows and it never goes back. Every time it grows. My feet, my leg, they grow.
Tell me about that.
They grew. I was size 6, now I'm size 7. So I'm just thinking all those body changes that you go through, then you know that at the end, the baby is coming. Yes. Then after that, the baby doesn't come. So the baby died at the hospital?
Yes. She was in an incubator. Still today, I still ask myself what actually happened. That doctors and nurses would say she had liver infection. And I would go and check on her. We had time schedules because because I was admitted in hospital by then too. But that day, I was actually being discharged. I would come and check her. They didn't even tell me anything. So it raises a lot of questions. They didn't call the ward that I was admitted into. Instead, they called my grandparents that they should come to the hospital. Then my grandparents called me and asked me if I'm being discharged. And I said, yes, I am. I was going to call you after the doctor has signed the forms. Then my grandmother was like, no, we're coming there because one of the doctors called us and said we should come to the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I asked one of the nurses in our ward to go and check on my baby. When I got there, I went straight to the incubator where she was actually sleeping. But upon my arrival, I realized that it wasn't my baby in that incubator.
They've already changed?
Yes. So I asked, where's my baby? And they were like, no, she's not here. She's in the other room. I didn't even ask why was she in the other room. I just rushed in there. When I got in there, I got two doctors with my baby lying on the bed with pipes and all that connected to her body. Then I asked what's going on. They told me that she's not fine. And in that condition that she was in, she would live beyond 2 hours below or even less than 30 seconds. If the doctor leaves, there was a pipe connected to her, so the doctor was busy with it. So the doctor said, if I leave this pipe and not help her breathe, she might live beyond 2 hours, less, or even 30 seconds. So we were not going to leave her without you seeing her breathe. You had to see her still breathing. And then I called my husband to leave work and come. Unfortunately, when he arrived at the hospital, because there was only two doctors on duty that day, they had to attend to other cases. When my husband arrived, unfortunately, our daughter was gone by then.
Sure.
So,
hey, it's life. And
difficult.
It's very difficult. And I think the most painful thing is, you said it was a C-section, is going home, then you are taking care of the wound.
Exactly, whereas there's no baby to show.
It's not easy. Then you also spoke up about you being in the cage, like did they carry?
Yeah, before and after giving birth, I was actually in a caged bed because of the level of preeclampsia that I was in. The doctors and nurses thought I would harm myself or even have fits and fall and all that. So I would always be in a caged bed. When my husband comes to check on me, you'd see that, the guy is so hurt. He doesn't know what to do. The wife is lying on a caged bed for that matter. And on the other side, the baby is in an incubator. So it was so difficult because I would hardly keep anything on my stomach. I would always vomit.
Throw up.
So
it was like difficult.
It was difficult and very bad.
Did you at some point feel like, did it depress you? Did you feel like anger, bitterness and all that?
At that time, no.
Yes.
Nothing at all.
Yes.
I felt like, I think the experience that I had with my mother made me that strong. I felt like it's no use crying over spilled milk. Yes, I was pregnant. I had a C-section. I have a scar to show for it, but the baby's no more. I can cry. I can never forget her, but she's no more. I have to accept and move on. And the most painful event was when we were actually planning her burial. Just seeing and looking at that little white casket going down. It was so sad. But after all that event, I was like, no, she's no more. I have to accept. For me to be able to accept and move on and be able to have other babies, I just have to pray and ask for strength from God. And I did exactly that. 3 years later, I fell pregnant again, of which we had planned and prayed for. Then we got our rainbow baby. Such a beautiful 3 years old.
So when the next time, the second pregnancy, you were not scared that you're gonna have like complications and all?
I was scared, but I had faith. I started going to the doctor at an early stage to avoid having the same experiences that I had with my first pregnancy. And to say the least, everything went well. My only problem is that I always have pregnancy-induced high blood. So that's a challenge. But by then, I was able to control it. I knew what to eat, what to do, and what not to do.
Then the baby came. There was
no complications, none whatsoever. However, it was another C-section, of which I had to embrace.
So going back to the first baby, like when it's your birthday, do you feel any sadness? Do you feel?
No, my husband and I made a tradition that every year on her birthday, we go by the graveyard, clean her graveyard, and put some flowers for her. We know that she lives within us, so she's our baby. We will never, ever forget her. So we just buy her a bunch of flowers and leave them there.
Because I was thinking that maybe sometimes you think maybe maybe now she could have turned 5.
We do think about that, because recently we were actually talking about that she would have been 5-6 years old now. She would have been such a beautiful tall girl, because she was so cute. And I think another thing that makes us not to think about her every day is that we eventually lost memories and pictures that we had of her, losing phones and all that. So we had to move on. We lived like it never happened.
Yeah, we thank God. I think it's only God who can help you to heal.
Yeah.
Yes. Then going back to the story, like the first time you met your mom, how did you feel like when you saw her face to face the first time?
When I saw her, I saw a copy of myself.
Wow.
She looked so much like me.
Wow.
I felt so happy that finally here's the woman gave birth to me. I wanted to talk to her about a lot, but like I said, she had no time for me. She actually left me in her house.
She left you to where?
She left me.
She went outside.
To her friends or wherever she was.
Wow.
She left me there and told me to make some lunch. Just imagine.
I'm getting a picture of like she's that I don't care.
So she left me there, and I prepared lunch. When I was done, I just left her a note that I cooked. Then I left because you were not here.
So this is the first time you guys are meeting?
The first time ever.
So you're cooking for yourself?
I'm cooking for myself and
you have
boyfriend.
a lot of you have a lot of questions. Mama, where were you? Why did you leave me? All those things you never spoke about.
I asked her some of the questions through the phone, because face to face she wouldn't tell me anything. Even through the phone, she would just say, I asked her, why did you do that? Why did you leave me? Did you hate me or anything like that? She would just say, ask your dad. Or she would say, ask your grandmother. Your granny hates me. And I'm like, okay, if my grandparents hate you, but I am your daughter, you were supposed to fight for me. Even after a year or 2, or even 6 months, you were supposed to come and apologize. Even if you know that you did nothing wrong, but just to come and mend things, knowing that you want to build a relationship with your daughter, it would have meant a lot. So I had to grow up and be the one looking for you, whereas you are my mother.
Hey.
So
yeah, I can imagine, because I always believe that God gave us the responsibility to take care of our children. Yes. So even if my in-laws do not like me, I'm not going to take my children and abandon them. Yes. So I'm thinking, you are a girl. What if something has happened to you? What if somebody rapes you? What if when you start your period, who is there to tell you
talking about periods, my first experience ever, I was so scared because, grandparents and the strict cleaners. I had my first period when I was in grade 9. So I was so scared. The teachers at school didn't even tell us about such things. My grandparent also wouldn't tell me about such things. She would always say, when you sleep with boys, you're going to bleed and have your periods. So when I had my first period, I was like,
you slept with the
but
boy?
I didn't sleep with any boy. I was still a virgin by then. So I was so scared.
Yes.
Upon my arrival at home after school, I rushed to my bedroom and changed. I even hid my panties and tied under the bed because I was so scared that she's going to shout at me that I slept with a boy and all that. But I didn't. I couldn't even ask her to buy me pads and all that. I should have used a toilet paper and a cloth. So even though I didn't know how to wash them, I had to use my pocket money to buy the pads. Then when she saw them the first time, she asked me, are you on your periods? And I was like, yes, I am. But I was scared to tell you because you said, if you see me bleeding, it means I had slept with a boy. But we got okay. We spoke and everything was fine.
Yeah, because on that one, I also grew up with my mom, my grandmom raised me because my mom and my dad, they divorced. So my mom had to come to Joburg to look for a job. I mean, I was left a kaya, So this is what happened. I was with my grandmom. Then I started my period. Nobody told me anything about period. Nobody said anything. Nobody told me that you have to change your pads and what. So I was sitting in class. Like, these are some of the challenges that we go through as girls. I'm sitting in class. I was in grade 7. I think I was 12. Grade 7. I'm sitting in class. And I keep on feeling this sound. Like, and this thing is warm that's coming out. But
you have no idea.
There's no idea. And I was this girl who was very clever. The teacher was like, who can rub the board? And I stood up. When I stood up, it was like a bench, those old benches. Yeah. So where I was sitting, there was blood. Then I stood up and went to rub the board, and there was silence in class.
Everyone was looking at you.
Yes, everyone was looking. You can imagine the embarrassment. In that time, it was like kaya, like the deep rural, You don't even have pocket money. You don't even know what to do. So I left. When I left school, everyone, there was like some sort of stigma. I don't know. That was back in the 2000s, yeah. So then I went home. I didn't know what to do. I get home. I don't even remember I don't remember how I did it. But I remember when I was somewhere in grade 8 thereabout, I was on my period again. In that time, it was very hot, and I never changed the pad. It was not pad, it was cotton those days. It was cotton. So now, I didn't change this, and it was stinky, like very, very stinky. And everyone in class was like, So I'm just saying that long time ago, back then, we never had this conversation. Would not talk about that. We'll never talk about it, and it was like a taboo. And as a girl child, you have to see for yourself what do I do.
To make a plan.
Yes, you have to take your socks, or you have to take your clothes.
Anything that you come across.
So I just feel like our parents back then, they never played their part. And I'm not saying I'm a better parent, but maybe I'm going to be a more involved parent. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So now, your dad, how are things with your dad?
He passed on in 2018.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We were really good friends. He was a hustler. He didn't work. He would go by the golf course in Krugersdorp with his white people being a career boy. So he was actually a hands-on dad. He was always there. He would give me money and things when he could. But most importantly is that he was always there for me. Whatever I would ask of him, he would do for me if he could. And what I love more about him is that he gave all his responsibilities to his parents. He did tell them that, as you can see, that I'm not working and I have a daughter. Can you please help me take care of her? I'm not going to say I will take care of her because I'm not able to and I am a man. So during that process of her and him and my mom fighting and all that, they ended up doing a legal adoption, having to change my surname from my mom's to my dad's. He was always there. He gave approval of everything. So I can simply say he was an awesome dad. He was hands-on. He was such a good man.
Did he get married and have other children also?
He has one child who comes after me, a few years later after me. And no, he didn't get married.
Oh, so you have a relationship with that other child?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah, because it's very difficult. Like a lot of men, they are not like so much involved. They don't care for their children. I'm so grateful that you had a dad. I'm so grateful to God that He gave you a dad who really loved you and who took the responsibility.
It can only be God.
Yes, it can only be God. Yes. Okay, so on like the part where you got married, your mom never came.
We are actually in a customary marriage. So when they paid lobola
yes,
in 2021, my mom was still that absent. Like there was no communication, nothing at all, zero communication. So everything happened. They paid lobola and all that. But at some point, my father-in-law did mention that we cannot continue to do everything whereas your mom doesn't know or isn't present. As my mom had said that they don't get along with my grandparents, I had to take it upon myself to talk to my grandparents and look for my maternal grandparents too, so that they can know how things are going. But anyway, I did send my mom a message on Facebook that I got married. Just imagine that I got married, and her response was like, how do you get married without your uncles being there? And I was like,
wait, do you even have uncles? I didn't know.
do I even have uncles? Which uncles are you referring to? And she was like, you do have uncles. And I was like, I didn't know about that. My husband wanted to pay lobola for me, so there was no way that I was going to stop him because we want to be together. Now I am letting you know so that you know, hore, when we do umembeso and mahlabiso, you have to be there. You don't have to pay anything or give me anything at all, but your presence, your support, and your blessings would be much appreciated. And she was like, okay, I'll be there. So we currently planning our wedding celebration, which will be happening in September. I did tell her, but you can still see that she's not interested.
So she stays around Gauteng?
Yes, we stay in the same area. I moved from home in Mansonville to Kagiso with my husband. My mom stays in Kagiso. So you can imagine you are like in the same environment with your mom, but she's a stranger. We don't talk at all. The only time she sends me a message, she'd be like, Smangele, Tidimalo needs shoes. Tidimalo needs this, or Kutlano needs this and that. So when she sees me, I think she sees a fountain of money, of which I don't even have. So I always tell her that I don't have, or I'll give you if I have. And when I do have, I do give her. So,
hey,
we're just strangers.
I don't know.
Because we just share blood, but we are strangers at the end of the day. Because
my question is, of course, whenever we do things for other people, we do because we have a relationship with them. So this is your mom, so you are giving her money, but it's not like we want to sell or exchange love for money, but I'm just saying, when she says, Smangele, hi, I need shoes, or hi, I need this, does she even know that who is Smangele? Where did Smangele come from? How did you grow up to be where you are?
Where I am.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She doesn't know anything at all. Because at some point I would feel like, as a mother, she must be the one giving me money.
Yes.
I don't even have to ask. At least to say, here's $200. Go and buy yourself something nice. But she doesn't. Instead, I'm the one who gives and gives and gives.
So when you, how did you get the Facebook username? You asked your dad or you checked your birth certificate?
She sent me a friend request.
Oh, okay.
I knew her name, so I could tell from the friend request that it's her.
Then after the friend request, did she say anything or?
No, I accepted. Then she sent a message like a normal person. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
And she didn't introduce herself?
No. When am I seeing you? Like, by then I was still 18 and I needed permission from my grandparents. And knowing that they don't get along, there was no way I would tell my grandparents that I'm going to see my mom. I had to lie and say I'm going out with friends or going somewhere. So that's how I got to see her.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. We cannot judge, but it's just a painful experience.
It's too painful.
It's very painful. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. What I can say is I'm so sorry for what you went through, and I'm grateful that today you are the strong woman that you are. And I saw that you've got a kitchen.
Yes, I
business,
do.
yeah, business woman.
Yes. Yes.
So how's the business going like?
It's going so nice, so nice. I've always loved food, content creation, and all that.
Wow.
In 2018, after my dad's passing, I had a dream. He told me that the power is in my hands. The only way I can make money is through my hands.
Yes.
And cooking.
Yes.
Then in 2018, late 2018, I started a small catering business, whereby I was doing platters, and it went on and on until mid 2019. Then I stopped. I don't know what happened, but I stopped. Then it was COVID, and then I did a few catering events. Then earlier this year, I had that thought again. I revisited that thought, that dream, and said, you know what? Let me do this again and see how it goes. But so far, so good. It's going so well.
Wow. Maybe you can also share or maybe you're going to give me the Facebook if you have a Facebook link or whatever, so that we can put on the screen and people can follow you.
No problem at all. The business name is Ikishi Laga Manyembe. Also Ikishi Laga Manyembe on Instagram, Ikishi Laga Manyembe on TikTok, and also on Facebook.
Wow. So do you deliver?
Yes, I do deliver. But I would actually suggest that when you order, maybe you in Vetboji, or you order about a minimum of 3 plates so that you can be able to cover the delivery fee. However, around Kagiso, I do deliver with a minimum of 12 rands to 24 rands. Our plates start from 40 rands a plate. It's 1 starch and 1 meat. And we have a 2-meat combo that goes for 65 rands with salads on the side.
Okay, did you know that you can also register on Mr. D?
I knew, but I never gave that thought.
Yeah, you can. It's to be like it goes under the African kitchen class. So people, and we love. We don't love burgers. We love pap.
You love pap
yes,
and mukhodu.
Yes, we love pap.
That's
so
the best seller.
Yes.
It's actually my
serious.
You know, people love mukhodu. When it's mukhodu Monday, you can see the sales go up. They also love inyama yenhloko because I decided that, I'm not going to cook it the traditional way with just salt and water.
Putting tomatoes.
I do something nice, not
recipe.
No. I do it in a more Western yet traditional way, so people do enjoy it. It's actually my star dish in the kitchen.
Wow. Thank you, Mayele, for coming. And I'm so grateful that you came. And what I want to say is God allows us to go through painful experiences for a reason. It's not easy. I know that sometimes we don't understand, God, why are you putting me through this? But maybe God, he has a way of protecting his children. Somebody said, it's a story. They said there was a bush was burning. A bush was burning, so there was a fire. So there's this lion that came and took its child. But lions, they don't have hands, so they bite.
Yes.
So it was biting the cub, and it becomes uncomfortable, because lions, they kill. So you can imagine the strength in the teeth. So it was running away from the fire with that baby in the mouth. But the baby didn't understand. Why is my mom biting me? Then when the lion, so he took the baby to a safe place where there was no fire, then he put it down there. So I'm just saying that sometimes God takes us through from a fire, but we don't know what fire is it. And when he's taking us from the fire, it's very painful. It makes us cry. It makes us sad. But maybe, I don't know, God was protecting you. Maybe he saw it fit for you to be raised by your grandmom for a reason.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true. There's a lady that I'm following on Instagram by the name of Ntabiseng Matole. She always says, "Modimo ke wa rona kaofela."
Amen. It's all of us.
God is for all of us.
Yes.
No matter the situation you are in, you will always conquer. He cannot put us in difficult situation, knowing very well that we cannot conquer or we cannot become victorious. My middle name is Victoria, so I always say I am victorious. There's no way in life that I won't win. It might take time, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get there.
Amen. There is indeed hope. They say there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. Thank you so much. Then you said something about content creation. I don't know what you.
I am still taking baby steps. I'm still getting there. I am hoping for sponsorships. So we can only take it day by day, step by step. I guess these brands, they want to see our work before they can actually approach us. So I'm just going in step by step.
So you're posting on TikTok,
and Instagram, and Facebook.
Oh, okay, that's good. I know TikTok does it.
It does. So a new page, but yes, I can say it's getting there.
Wow,
it's not so bad.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything that you would want to say to somebody who's going through like a difficult patch in life and they don't have the strength to carry on?
I'd just like to say, keep on keeping on. It's not easy, but soldier on soldier. We can't be in difficult situations whereby we won't be able to get up. You fall and you get up. Just get up and dust yourself. Focus. Just focus. Have your highest focus levels. And trust me, you're going to win.
Amen. And trust in God also. Yes.
There's no one better than God.
Yes.
And God fails to do only one thing in life, and that is failing itself.
Amen.
He can never fail.
Amen. God is not
a failure.
Amen. God has never lost a battle.
Never.
It
might take time, but eventually you get there. You will get there.
When the time is right.
When your time is right, you
make it. Yes, you make it happen. Okay, thank you for watching this podcast. And if there's a first time watching us, please, you can just hit the subscribe button and support your girl. And if you'd want to be part of the podcast also, you can send me an email on gilung@gmail.com. Thank you, Sis Mangele.
Thank you so much for having me.
And happy belated birthday.
Thank you.